ladies, good afternoon. It is Sarah Shipton here from Scrapbooking with Sarah, and I'm coming live to you today on Tuesday, November 4, 2025, with this week's scrapbooking challenge. So for those of you that celebrate Melbourne Cup, happy Cup Day. I do not, but I am in my office scrapbooking, so super excited about that. And I am especially excited today because I'm going to be sharing a brand new scrapbooking workshop kit and a new paper suite with you. This is my first Technique Tuesday for the month, and that typically means that I have got a new paper suite to share and also a new scrapbooking workshop kit to share. So after I run through this week's challenge, bear with me because I have got 3 double page layouts to show you from the scrapbooking workshop kit. And I've got lots of other tips and ideas to help you get your crafty, creative juices flowing in the lead up to Christmas. So let's get right into it. This week we are creating a double page spread. We are on page number 36 from the Reflections Scrapbooking program. This is an older scrapbooking how-to pattern book that I have pulled off the shelf, and we are going back to basics with pattern 2K on page 36, and we are creating a bottom border pattern with the focus on your photos. So I love this pattern because it shows that you can still have the focus on your photos, on your scrapbooking layout, but also creating a beautiful bottom border as well. So I hope this inspires you. Hi Gail, thanks for joining us live. Did you pop a bet on today or back a winner? Drop me a comment, ladies, if you do celebrate Melbourne Cup Day and you have had a good day today. Alrighty, so with this particular layout, you are going to need 2 sheets of designer series paper or coordinating cardstock as your base. Now, I'm going to give you a little tip with this layout because you are also going to need, in fact, I've actually only used, I've got my bases, but then I've only used some designer series paper and then a 1/2 inch strip of paper. So I'm going to give you a little tip because the paper dimensions actually say to cut 2 sheets of paper at 10 by 12 inches and then another 2 sheets of paper at 9.5 by 12 inches. But it wants you, the pattern wants you to cover all of piece A over the top of piece B. No, the other way around, sorry. All of piece B over the top of piece A. And I'm like, well, that's kind of like, that's a little bit of a waste of paper. If you want to cut your paper dimensions like that, then you can do so. But what I have done is I have used a 12 by 12 sheet of cardstock as my base. And then for piece A, you're literally going to cut, it says to cut it at 10 by 12, but then you're going to cover that whole piece. So instead of doing that, what I've done here is I've just cut 1/2 inch strip of paper. This was the leftover paper from the Keeping Traditions scrapbooking workshop kit. And it is the Secret C designer series paper. Okay, so I've literally just cut a 1/2 inch strip and I have stuck that above this here. So essentially what you would be using, what you see down here is actually meant to be your base page of your pattern. But then I was going to cover it with all of that paper. So what I've done is I've actually used a 12 by 12 sheet of cherry cobbler cardstock as my base. And the cardstock is 2-tone. I'm going to slide this out of the memory protector and we'll go back to that after. So it is 2-tone. So I've used the original side of cherry cobbler. You've got a lighter side on the back. I've used this as my base. And then I did a little bit of math because the only bit that you're going to see down the bottom here, if that was going to be your base, is actually a 2-inch strip. Okay, so I cut a 2-inch strip of designer series paper and I put that at the bottom of my cardstock, and then I cut a 1/2 inch strip and I put that directly above that. Okay, so if you want to follow the pattern, then you're welcome to do so. You'll need 2 sheets of paper at 10 by 12 inches and then another 2 sheets of paper at 9.5 by 12 inches. That's actually using a lot of paper. It's paper on paper. So my tip is to use a 12 by 12 sheet of cardstock a 2-inch strip of designer series paper that's going to run all the way along the bottom here, and then a 1/2-inch strip of either designer series paper or cardstock running through here. You might have some old zip strips that you can use. Stampin' Up! Do not have zip strips with their designer series paper because all of their designer series paper is 12 by 12 and it comes shrink wrapped. Okay, so it's not actually in a Ziploc bag like your scrapbooking workshop kits are in a Ziploc bag. Okay, so I actually was able to use leftover designer series paper from my scrapbooking workshop kit. This 1/2-inch strip running through the bottom here is also using leftover designer series paper from my scrapbooking workshop kit. Now with my photos, I did stick with the master pattern. I've got all of my photos here at 4 by 4 inches. And then I have used some Pool Party 2-tone cardstock to cut my photo mats at 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. And I will give you a little tip. Where is my catalogue? So in your catalogue, I'm going to share the 3 layouts from the scrapbooking workshop kit with you a little later in the live today. There are actually, there's here some little dot icons or circle icons which indicate the coordinating colours that they have used for your Keeping Tradition scrapbooking workshop kit. When you buy the scrapbooking workshop kit, it comes with this white piece of card, a 12 by 12 sheet of card in the kit. I've actually cut that down and I've stuck that on the front of my baggie because when I go to put this away, if I was to pull this out later, I know exactly which colours. It actually indicates it here on the product guide. I know exactly which colours are going to coordinate with that scrapbooking workshop kit. I will not have to go through piles of old catalogues to find this colour guide. I've got this stuck right on my baggie. So that's my first tip for you. My second tip for you is that the Keeping Tradition scrapbooking workshop kit, which you'll find on pages 8 and 9 of your mini, actually coordinate with the Traditions of Christmas suite. So this comes under the like Creativity Your Way banner. Okay, so you can invest in a suite and then it's got coordinating papers, stamps, tools, embellishments with all of the images and the colors and themes coordinate. Here's a little tip for you. There is actually a strip of coordinating colors that are running along at the bottom of this particular suite here. So we've got Cherry Cobbler, which I have used for my base pages of my cardstock. We've got Real Red. I did pull out some Real Red and I kind of popped it down with my photos and I thought, no, the Cherry Cobbler definitely suits the color scheme better. I've got quite dark pajamas on. They're my Peter Alexander pajamas, which I wore on Saturday at my Christmas crop. How cool that I get to go to work in my pajamas. And do you guys want to hear, okay, a little side story here. I have to tell you something funny. So at the end of my Christmas crop, we packed up, we came home, I unloaded my car, I settled in, and I was like, I did a little bit of work in the office, and I was like, oh, I probably should think about dinner, but I was too exhausted to cook, so I was like, I'm just going to order some takeaway. I ordered my takeaway, and I got my car, and I'm like driving to get my takeaway, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm still in my pajamas. So I was like, oh my gosh, seriously? It was so funny. So I'm like, oh, well, whatever, who cares? Like, I'm in my pajamas, but I've still got like my shoes and socks on from the day. And sure enough, I run into someone I know while I'm picking up my takeaway. I don't know if she noticed that I was in my pajamas or not, but who cares? Like, I just didn't care. I was hungry. I was tired. I'd been on my feet all day. We had a great day. A shout out to everyone that came to my Christmas crop on Saturday. Sonia is watching live. Hi, Sonia. Thanks for joining. I know Sonia was there. We all had a great day. And I asked my girls to wear something Christmassy for our group photo, and both Kayla and myself were in our pajamas. So fun that I can go to work in my pajamas, but hilarious that I actually went out in my pajamas after. These were actually the pajamas that I was wearing on the day, my Peter Alexanders. A little side story there. That is how I determine what color cardstock I'm going to use with my how-to patterns. We've got Old Olive and Pool Party. This is where I came up with the Pool Party for my photo mats. That's actually where I was going with that. Now, the reason I chose the Pool Party is that you can see with the colours of the photos here, Kayla's Christmas tree, she's got some Pool Party coloured decorations on her tree and also in her wrapping paper. So I thought that worked out really nicely. We've got Secret Sea, which I chose these photos, and you can see some of the blues that are in the photos here with the blueberries and the decorations on her tree as well. And then we've got the gold, okay? So that's where I use my mini catalogue to help me with coordinating my photos, my colours with my photos, but also using the scrapbooking workshop kit as well. So I've gone with Pool Party for my photo mats. I've cut them at 4 1/4 by 4 1/4, and I have gone with the lighter side of Pool Party. I just felt the lighter side tied in nicely with my photos. And then in terms of the gold, I've actually brought in here, which I'm going to demonstrate to you today, I've brought in the gold foil sheets. So this is a relatively, well, it's a new product to Stampin' Up. So before you could buy a pack of gold and silver combined, now you can buy them separately. So you can get 2 sheets of the gold foil sheets in a pack for, I think off the top of my head, they're $8.75 for a 2-pack. And then you can buy a 2-pack of the silver foil sheets as well. So I love that they've separated that product, because sometimes we don't need both. Now I've used gold down the bottom here as a 3 banner, a 3 border banner, a 3 banner border. Okay, I've used the punch. And I'm going to demonstrate this to you today. This is the 3 banner punch, and I have made a border with my 3 banner punch. Try saying that 3 times quickly, right? Now, whilst there's really no gold in my photos, and Kayla's decorations were the blue and the silver, it is okay. I'm giving myself permission to say it is okay, Sarah, to use gold on my scrapbooking layout instead of the silver. Now let's get into the demonstration. I've used a couple of different things also to do my embellishing, so let's touch on that first. Now with my scrapbooking workshop kit, when I do these weekly challenges, I quite often will use leftovers from the kit. As you can see here, I don't have a lot of the stickers left over. The stickers that you get in your scrapbooking workshop kit also coordinate with, in the back of your catalogue, in the mini, we've got a new range called Scrapbooking from Scratch. And this is the Scrapbooking from Scratch range. You can get the designer series paper with the sticker sheet, a stamp set, and then the coordinating cardstock. Now, this is the coordinating cardstock pack. I've used 2 sheets of the Cherry Cobbler and 2 sheets of the Pool Party to cut all my photo mats. You are going to need 2 sheets of cardstock for the 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. Now this sticker sheet that you get in the designer series paper is the same sticker sheet that you're going to get in your scrapbooking workshop kit. So as you can see, I've used most of the titles and the strip stickers. I haven't used these numbers, so this would be fun to do like a leftover days of December. You might want to make like a mini album, or you can use these on other Christmas theme layouts, because you want to think about all of the things that you do in the lead up to Christmas as well with your scrapbooking, right? You go to functions and drinks and catch-ups and, you know, Christmas concerts with the kids at school and all sorts of fun things, Christmas carols. So you might go see Christmas lights in your local neighborhood. So you can use up those number stickers, but I just wanted to point that out, that you can buy the designer series paper on its own. That is in part of the suite. Now, this did just come back in stock recently. It was out of stock, but it is back in stock now. You can buy the designer series paper on its own, and it's got this gorgeous, it's a specialty designer series paper because it's got this beautiful gold foil feathered through it. The papers that come in your scrapbooking workshop kit do not have the gold foil in them, okay? So that is important to note. And you only get a selection of designer series paper in your scrapbooking workshop kit. You're not going to get all of those papers. You only get exactly what you need in your scrapbooking workshop kit to create those 3 layouts, okay? I quite often will buy a 2nd pack of the designer series paper on its own to bulk up with my leftovers, which you can purchase on its own. You can also get it with the stickers, but then it means that you're going to double up on these stickers if you're also getting the scrapbooking workshop kit, okay? So I hope that makes sense. It is a little bit back and forth because there are 3 sections in this mini that feature this particular product range, but I hope that has been helpful for you to break that down. Now, because I use most of my stickers on the actual Scrapbooking Workshop kit layouts, I didn't have many stickers left over in terms of embellishing and decorating, and I didn't buy the coordinating stamps and dies. So what I did with my leftover paper was, let me see if any of you can guess, I got to fussy cutting. So if I've got long strips of paper, I don't typically fussy cut those, because if they are 12 inches left over, I can use them on other scrapbooking layouts. But in this case, what I did, I had some leftover designer series paper in shorter lengths. So what I did was I fussy cut out some of the flowers, okay, and then I have popped them down the side of my layouts to do as my embellishing pieces. And then I've got my little Wink of Stella glitter brush, and I've actually just brushed lightly over the inside. I think you call this, I always get this wrong. Is it like the stamen of the flower, like the inside of the flower? Is that called the stamen? Someone will have to tell me. So I have actually coloured with the glitter brush over the inside of the flowers there, which looks super cute. And I have popped them up with my Stampin' Dimensionals. Okay, so I've used both my Stampin' Dimensionals and also my mini Stampin' Dimensionals. I have used them to pop them up on my scrapbooking layout. And then when you're doing your fussy cutting, don't be worried if you've got these straight edges left over with your scraps, because you can actually, as I've done here, I've buttered them up on the outside of my scrapbook layout, and then also on the inside here up against my photo. So it kind of looks like it was meant to be like that, right? So that's super fun. My journaling box was left over from my Scrapbooking Workshop layout. The number 25 was left over from the Scrapbooking Workshop kit. So I've used that here because these photos were taken on Christmas morning, December 25, in Kayla's new home. And then also to help me with my embellishing, I have used some of the Mix and Match ephemera. So this is the Greetings for You Mix and Match ephemera. And you can, these are actually stickers, so you can punch them out and you can pop them. I've got some leftover ones here that have fallen out, so I've put them in a little baggie so they're not rummaging around in my packet. These are actually stickers, and there's a middle section here where you can peel off the backing, and then you can put them on your scrapbook layouts. You can use them on cards. I used them on Saturday as my little gift tags for my Rocky Road bags. So I'm going to share some other ways that you can use the Mix and Match ephemera. But I brought these in because they're gold, right? And the white and the gold are part of the coordinating colours. So I've just done some joy stickers here. 'Tis the season. I've done Merry Christmas, and I've popped that up on some of my mini dimensionals just to do my embellishing. And then to finish it off with my little bling. Hi there, ladies. Thank you so much for your patience. We had a little break in the broadcast there. Some technical issues. I am back live, and we are up to the part of the video where I'm going to be demonstrating the 3-banner punch. So thank you for your patience with me. Now, I mentioned earlier that we have got these beautiful new gold foil sheets. You get 2 sheets of the gold foil sheets in 12 by 12 inches. And you can see I've got some here that are in my pack that I demonstrated at my Christmas crop on Saturday. So a big thank you to those ladies that attended. I'm going to actually keep them out. And I'm going to pop them in one of my little baggies so I can have them on hand. And I've got these now already cut out for some cards or some gift tags or another scrapbooking layout. So let's talk the 3-banner punch. This is a brand new product. It was literally just released today in the November online exclusives. I will drop links to all of the products that I am sharing and demonstrating in today's Technique Tuesday. So when you invest in your punch, it comes flat like this. There's actually a little button or a lever on the back here, so I can hold that down. That locks it into place, or I can bring that down with my thumbs and it will actually open the 3-banner punch like so. Now, this is the first punch that I have invested in since my time with Stampin' Up. So the punches are great if you don't have a die cutting, a Stampin' Cut die cut and embossing machine. or another die cutting machine, punches are a great way and a great product to invest in to help you to punch out the shapes that you need. So there's a whole range of them. I decided to start with this particular punch as my first one as an investment because I know that I'm going to get great bang for my buck with this particular punch. So what I did was I measured the width of the punch to start off with, and it measured 3 inches across here. And then I trimmed down a strip of 3-inch by 12-inch paper. This is the gold foil sheets. And what I'm going to do is pop the gold foil paper. You can see that when I insert this into the punch, I can pop it flush up against the edge. And you can see that I'm not going to waste any paper because the width of my paper matches the width of my punch. So when I hold that down into place like so, that's going to secure my paper, which you can do with one hand. So there's 2 ways that I can do this. I can use both of my hands here to punch up and then just turn over and pop them out. And then by releasing that pressure, it will release the paper. And you can see here that the punch is going to punch out 3 different pieces. So we've got a banner, and then we've got a chevron banner, and then we've got a single flag. So this is like a double flag banner. This is a single flag banner, and this is like a little chevron one. And I saw some inspiration on a video yesterday, one of our demonstrator training videos, where they used the banners like this and they fed them one into each other. And I thought, what a great idea. I'm going to pop this on my scrapbooking layout for my Technique Tuesday. So I've got my 1/2-inch strip through here, and in the pattern here you can see where they have wrapped twine around the 1/2-inch strip, so you definitely could do that. What I did here, just to add a little bit of the gold foil to my scrapbooking layout, I've actually created a border, a banner border running from the left to the right of my scrapbooking layout. And to line this up, what I did was I made sure that my banner pieces that I've just punched out are in line with my 1/2-inch strip. And I thought that if I can match it up that way, then I'm going to get a really nice straight edge of these individual punched out pieces running nicely across my scrapbook layout. So I started with the double edge banner here, and then I fed in this little chevron piece, and then I butted that up against the other single flag banner. And then I just did that back the other way with the double edge banner here. And then I fed this single chevron piece in here, and back to back filled the chevron piece back into itself there again. So another tip that I want to give you is that once you actually punch out those 3 pieces, you can see here that I've got another open piece here. So I don't want to waste my gold foil sheet. So I'm going to pop that back inside my punch, and then you can line that up. I'm going to do this one here. I can line that up with this middle one because that's the biggest one to punch out. And then I can just get another one out there, and you can see that I'm using up my paper really well, okay? So that one I'm just going to pop to the side, and then that's going to be our scrap. And then I'm going to get my Stampin' Trimmer, which I have got just here. And I'm going to trim off this bit that I've just punched out. I'm going to line that up, trim that off, so that's my scrap. And then I have got room to continue with my punching. So I just wanted to demonstrate this again for you. If you are a little bit challenged with applying the pressure, what you can do is pop your cardstock in like so, and then you can just turn that over and pop it onto your bench space. Okay, you can even line it up that way if you like. And then you can use 2 hands to punch it down onto your workspace, and you'll see that that will punch out upside down. So we can turn these over like so for my gold foil. And then with that last bit of scrap there, I can line that up to cut out another. Oh, I didn't cut that first one very straight, so see how we go here. Okay, perfect. That worked just well. And then I've gotten rid of that tiny little last bit of paper, so I'm not wasting any of my gold foil sheets, okay? Now, when you have finished doing all of your punching, you can apply pressure to close the punch and then slide that lock piece up, and that will keep your punch lying flat, which will be great for storage, or if you're wanting to transport your punch to your friend's house or one of my scrapbooking workshops, and you can make that mobile. Now, look at all these little fun pieces that I've got punched out. I just want to give you some ideas of other ways that you can use them. So on the weekend, I had my Christmas crop, and a shout out to Kayla. She made a whole heap of Rocky Road for the girls. So they had their little bag of Rocky Road, which they had when they arrived in. So this is cut at 2 by 3 inches, and this is from the Mix and Match range. So I'm just going to grab my catalogue back out again, and I'm going to come to Mix and Match. This is on pages 14 and 15 of your September to December mini catalogue. If you came to my Christmas open house, I demonstrated the Mix and Match range while you were here. So this is the Greetings for You ephemera that I've just shared with you in the first video. This is some 6 by 6 inch designer series paper, Christmas tags and more. And this has a cut apart piece which measures 2-inch strips, and you can cut that in half at 3 inches, and you can make your own little gift tags. So all I've done here is I've stuck on one of these little gold banner punches that I've punched out, and then I've used my Mix and Match gold ephemera stickers to stick over the top of the little gold foil banner that I've punched out, and then I've just blinged that up with some other little gold iridescent gems. And then I had some leftover ribbon. This is some scarlet, maybe cherry cobbler trim, a ribbon from actually last year's Christmas range. So this is just a really fun way to personalize your little gift packs that you might want to make for Christmas. You can see here I've got some of the other gold ribbon that we've used on previous scrapbooking layouts as well. And then I just mixed up the little tags and the stickers that I put on there. So these were some leftover ones that I had from the day. I'm just going to pop them to the side. And then I've also I haven't used the gold banners on here, but this is also from the Mix and Match range, where you can purchase packs of cards and envelopes that are pre-printed, Christmas cards and envelopes, in crumb cake and gold garden green. And then we've used the 6 by 6 inch designer series paper up, and we've actually embellished the front of the cards with that paper using the Mix and Match ephemera, and then some of the little embellishments and stickers. The ephemera is there, and I've just used some dimensionals to pop them up, so that was really fun. And then I also used the Mix and Match range to make some Christmas tags. Again, these had some leftover twines and other red ribbons. Some of this twine and ribbon were actually left over from the kits that I've made with the kits collection, and the gold ribbon for that. So that was super fun. And now I'm going to share with you, this was the scrapbooking layout that I recreated from the mini catalogue. Again, using the Mix and Match ephemera and the 6 by 6 inch designer series paper. So now I'm going to share with you the 3 layouts from the scrapbooking workshop kit. So keeping traditions, you'll create 3 projects, 3 double page layouts using your all-inclusive kit. This is step-by-step crafting. So we've got a 12 by 12 inch layout here. You just follow the cutting instructions from your scrapbooking workshop kit, the guide that comes with that. You get your papers, your cardstock, you get some exclusive paper, you get a sheet of stickers, and then you also get some sheets of exclusive die cuts as well. So this was layout number 1, and this was Boxing Day 2 years ago. Kayla and her grandma are doing some baking in the kitchen there. We had some champagne and some cocktails, which was super fun. This is project number 2. That's the left-hand side. Oh, and the right-hand side there. So, again, this is the exclusive paper here. And then we've used the Wink of Stella glitter brush and the Old Olive Stampin' Pad to actually paint some glitter inside the layout here. I've just got some flip flaps on these, the journaling's underneath here, another flip flap here with some of the portrait photos. So that's layout number 2. And then layout number 3 is Christmas Traditions. Here we're using the shimmer brush and the ink to do some splattering. So I've got a flip flap on the top here with some 3x4 inch photos underneath. This was a Christmas function with my girlfriends. We get together once a year and have dinner and swap presents. We did a little Kris Kringle. So that was fun because 4 of them got the same cookbook. So that was layout number 3 for the Keeping Traditions Scrapbooking Workshop kit. So I hope that is giving you lots of Christmas inspiration for your photos. One thing I like to do is use the layouts from my Scrapbooking Workshop kit to print my photos from Christmas the year before, in some cases even 2 years before. And then I've got my Christmas layouts all done. Some of my ladies use the kits to create their layouts blank and ready to put their photos on for afterwards. So it's really whatever works best for you. But I hope that you have enjoyed my video today demonstrating the new 3-banner punch. Apologies for the interruption to our broadcasting today, but I will post links to all of the products that I've shared with you in the video, and I hope that you are inspired. I can't wait to see what you create this week with your layouts, especially the separate 4x4 inch. I'm going to finish this live video now, and then I'm going to do a separate video where we draw the winner for the October challenges. So stay tuned, and I'll be back on live shortly this afternoon. Hi, Chris. Thanks for joining. Hi, Emily. Thanks for being here today. I can't wait to see what you ladies create this week. Bye for now.